Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here this morning from the Visionary Institute for another segment of 5 Minutes of Fire, coming at you a little bit earlier than I normally would. May start doing this on a regular basis, but I got a lot going on today, and I want to make sure that I got this in. I'm going to try to do my best to keep this as close to 5 minutes as possible. You know how that goes with me. But I'm going to attempt to be as succinct as possible in delivering this message. Look, I wish I could tell you that in your desire to climb to the next level, I wish I could tell you that in your thirst for a better marriage, in your desire to build a business, in your desire to improve your finances, that everything was built in a straight line, that everything was built all laid out for you, and that once you set out this perfect strategy that you have, or this idea of what's going to happen, is going to follow your plans and your projections to a T. I wish that I could tell you that all the hopes and visions you have in front of you are going to just be laid out for you, and there are no challenges, no setbacks, no disappointments, no delays, no frustrations. I wish I could tell you that, but the truth of the matter is I would be lying to you. I would be lying to you if I told you that you weren't going to get knocked down, that there weren't going to be moments of uncertainty, if that there weren't going to be times you're going to look up and nothing in your reality resembled anything in your vision. I wish I could tell you that, but I would be lying to you. See, you don't get to where you're trying to go because your plan is perfect. You don't get where you're trying to go because every decision is the right decision. You don't get where you're trying to go because everything in the universe just lays down for you. You get where you're trying to go because you simply refuse to stop. And when you get when you get your mind made up, you have made up in your mind that if there's not an opportunity, I'll create one. If it's not working this way, I'll find another way. I have to get to my destination. You make it up in your mind, and you've got to be careful how you evaluate your moments. See, again, I wish I could tell you that it was all gravy. I wish I could tell you that once you get this one little mindset straight in your head, that life is just going to whisk by with you just getting everything you ever desired. No, everything you want of anything of substance, it's going to cost you. It's going to dig deep into you. It's going to touch the boundaries of fear. It's going to challenge your willingness to be committed. It's going to see just how far you're willing to go to have it. Life is going to test you for anything of value before it surrenders it to you. You better get ready for it. I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you that it's not an easy journey. I'm telling you that you're going to have to fight. I'm telling you that you're going to have to be able to develop a sense of gratitude in the midst of darkness. That's exactly what I'm telling you. What do I mean by a sense of gratitude in the midst of darkness? You don't just develop gratitude is not something that you only engage when you see everything going the way you want it, or you can see the way out of something. Gratitude is a mindset that says, I'm going to wake up every morning and I am going to find a reason to be grateful. And I told you this before. I even said it in yesterday's video. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is when I wake up is I look over to my left at my wife and I watch her until I see her breathe. When she takes that breath, that's the only reason I need to get up. That's the only reason I need to be grateful. Now, it's not the only reason I have, but I don't get out of the bed without a heart of gratitude. I don't care what's going on in my life. Things are not going to always go the way I want them. But when you wake up with something you've dreamed about and wanted and longed for as long as you can remember, and you have it, even if everything around you is not going the way you think it should go, but you've got this one person that loves you despite everything, you've got something to be grateful for. What if you don't have a spouse? Do you got kids that just think the world rises and sets in you? Do you got kids that are depending on you to rise, and they are open books? I mean, just waiting for you to pour into them. Do you have something that you can turn to and smile about? There's something in your life. I don't care how dark you are, where you at right now. That's something in your life that is worth smiling about. It's worth being grateful for. And I'm going to tell you something. If you can't develop a heart of gratitude, none of the things you're striving for are going to find you, because the vibration that comes with disquietude, with anxiety, with frustration, with anger, with bitterness, with fear, all that stuff is of a low frequency, emitting a low energy, and it will only attract like energy. Wake up, find a reason to be grateful. I mean, I just finished mine. I wake up, I'm in my office now, and I go through this process. I'm at the end of my hour of power, and I'm reaching out to you immediately after that, because it's a state, and I can tell you every day does not go the way I want it to go. I can't tell you the last time I had a day where just everything fell in line. They come along, but they come along rarely. It's not about that. It's not about everything falling in a line. It's about you having enough faith in who you are and your design and what life is holding for you, to know that no matter how dark it looks in front of you right now, that if you just stand the course, just stay in the race, just stay in the fight. I mean, how many times have you heard the race is not to the swift, nor to the strong? In a race of endurance, you got some times where you behind. In a race of endurance, you got some times where you'll question if you got anything left and you finish the race. In a race of endurance, there are going to be those moments where you're sitting up going, what in the hell did I get myself into? But it's the ability to reach down inside and say, you know what? I won't quit. I am not going to quit. I am not going to allow this to take me out. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let go. No surrender, no retreat. I'm built for this. I'm going to get back in. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get through this. What story are you telling? What's the narrative you're writing with your self-talk? Remember, I've told you before, one of the most powerful things I read is that your mind is the most powerful, your brain is the most powerful supercomputer in the world. And it is. I ain't going to get into all that because I'm about to get off here. But your brain is the most powerful supercomputer in the entire world. And your self-talk is the software and the program that it will run. What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about this or that, or what you're going through? What are you saying about what you can do and what you can't do? What are you saying about how you feeling right now? Because I can tell you how you're feeling right now based on where you're at is a perception thing. Because there are two people going through the same thing, seeing two totally different things. And depending on what you see, it's going to determine what you get. With that being said, I'm going to check out of here. I'm going to get back at you tomorrow. We're going to finish this thing. We're going to finish this. It's going to be a part two. I'm not sure exactly what direction I'm going to go with it, but it's going to be a part two. But I'm going to drop it right now. Look, you have got to have a heart of gratitude, and it's not optional or conditional. With that being said, I'm out of here. I love you guys. Like I always say, I am going to live life on full, and I am going to leave this world on E. I promise you that. Come hell or high water. With that being said, go out there and make something happen today. I don't care how big or how small. Make something happen. With that, I'm out. Peace.